friends. We got back last night from one of the best weekends. We had so much fun with Ryan and Haley. So Ryan is our youngest son. He's 27. And he lives close by. He lives in Davison. But his girlfriend lives in Grand Rapids. She is a real estate agent. So, sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. She lives in Grand Rapids, so he goes there pretty much every weekend. They used to she would come here and, for a weekend, and he would go there. They would alternate weekends. But if anyone knows real estate, the weekend is when you're really busy showing houses and doing open houses and things like that. So anyway, they invited us to come up. I always say come up. I always think it's north. It's pretty much just west of here. A little bit north, but mostly west. And it's about 2 hours to get there. They invited us to come, and we got a hotel downtown Grand Rapids. We got there Friday about dinner time, 6. And we went out to dinner, and then we went, where did we go? We went, I don't know, we ended up at a pool. Not a pool hall, but I know, we did putt-putt golf. Yeah, so after dinner, we did putt-putt golf. That was so much fun. It was an indoor putt-putt golf course thingy. And they like to play games. They like to be active. They're young. And they do that kind of thing, every weekend. So I stink at putt-putt. But we had fun. And then we went to this place where they had just tons of pool tables. And we played pool until probably midnight. We got back to the hotel, and Kevin's like, hey, you guys want to come up? So they came up to our room. Well, we wanted Ryan to be able to see this hotel. I'm going to insert pictures while I'm talking of the hotel and of the weekend that we had. But this hotel was absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. And I don't know, I think it was 1 o'clock when they left. And so anyway, I didn't get a lot of sleep this weekend. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm happy to be back home, and it's Monday, and it's I'm going to get back on a schedule, and things are going to get a little bit back to normal. So then the next day we went to the art museum, which was always amazing. I've never been to an art museum that I didn't see things in there that I loved, pieces that I loved. And Andrea, is it Kolsch? I forget how to say her last name. Anyway, there's an artist that I follow on Instagram, and I've loved her art forever. And Ryan and Haley saved the best for last. Their 3 favorite pieces in this museum or this gallery, they saved for last. And so we walked around the corner, and here's this Andrea's painting, and it was huge, and it was fabulous. And that was one of their favorites in the, I want to say museum. Is it a art museum? Anyway, so we did that, and then we met Claire and Brennan for lunch. So Claire is the daughter of some of our really close friends. Ryan and Claire went to school together. He knows Brennan because it's his best friend's cousin. So anyways, they live in Grand Rapids too. And so we met them for lunch and had a nice visit. After that, we went to Founders. Founders is a brewery, and they make everything in Grand Rapids. And we went on a tour, and that was amazing. I didn't expect much of the tour, but just hearing their story and how they started their company. And I'll just give you a brief. You probably don't care about this, but it's interesting. So I forget their names, Tom and Dave, I want to say, the founders of Founders Beer, Founders Brewery, I should say. They were in college. They were underage. They couldn't drink, but they wanted to drink. They wanted beer. So and this was, when was this? I can't remember. I'll put it up here. So they bought the things to make beer, and they started making their own beer. and they just kept on with it and built this huge company. It's really cool. So that was fun. And then after that, we had some dinner. Oh yeah, we went to this place, had some dinner, played some darts until like 6:30, because at 7 o'clock we went to Frederick Meyer's Gardens, and they had, like, you walk through the gardens, and it was like a light show. Everything was lit up, and the lights changed to music, and that was really fun. And then I don't remember what we did, what we do after that. I think it was, oh, I know. I think after that they dropped us off, and actually Ryan said, hey, you want to come back to Haley's apartment? And I got your birthday gift. And I was kind of like, oh, maybe, because it was like, I think around 11 o'clock. And then, I don't know, Kevin was like, I'm like, Kev, do you want to go? And he's like, I'm really tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm really tired too. So, because we only had like 5 hours sleep that previous night. Anyways, so we just went back to our hotel, went to bed. By the time we got in bed, it was like 12:30. So good thing we didn't go over there. And then in the morning, we had to check out, and then we drove over to Haley's apartment, and they gave us gave me my birthday present. Bottle of wine and a plant. It's a money plant. He bought a money tree. He bought me one of these a couple years ago, and it got really big, and then it just started. I needed to repot it, and I didn't. Anyway, it started dying, so I recently got rid of it. So he bought me another one, and it's much smaller. So anyways, bigger pot. And then we went out to an amazing breakfast, which was more like lunch because it was afternoon. And then we went antiquing, and then Kevin and I drove home. And we watched the Lions win. They beat the Bears, and they were like, had a 30% chance of winning that game, and they won. So that was a great way to end the weekend. So here we are. Today is Monday, and we're going to continue on with the next 4 days of the 12 days of Christmas. I'm kind of like over it now because we've had the Epiphany. I have to take all my Christmas things down a little bit. I'm going to try to do a little bit each night, and then wrap it up this weekend with the big tree, putting the big tree away. But anyways, I feel really behind on everything because normally I would have took the tree and everything down this past weekend. So there you go. That's what we did. We had a blast. All right. Enjoy the painting. Bye. Today's reading is the Gospel reading, Matthew 4, verses 12 through 17 and 23 through 25. When Jesus heard that John had been arrested, he withdrew to Galilee. He left Nazareth and went to live in Capernaum by the sea, in the region of Zebulun and Naphtali, that what had been said through Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled. Land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, the way to the sea beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles, the people who sit in darkness have seen a great light. On those dwelling in the land overshadowed by death, light has arisen. From that time on, Jesus began to preach and say, Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. He went around all of Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and curing every disease and illness among the people. His fame spread to all of Syria, and they brought him all who were sick with various diseases and racked with pain, those who were possessed, lunatics, and paralytics, and he cured them. The great crowds from Galilee and Decapolis, Jerusalem and Judea, and from beyond the Jordan followed him. And now for our meditation. Can you sum up the whole message of the Scriptures in one line? There are a few contenders, but this verse, which Matthew quoted from the prophet Isaiah, is a pretty good candidate. On those dwelling in a land overshadowed by death. This is the story of humanity. Each one of us lives in some way in a land overshadowed by death. We all have experienced suffering, illness, loneliness, or the loss of a loved one. We do experience joy as well, but even that will eventually fall prey to our own mortality. If this were the whole message, we'd have good reason to feel depressed. But it continues. Light has arisen. We know what it's like to turn on a lamp. Light floods the place and the darkness vanishes. This is how Matthew describes Jesus' coming, both to Galilee and to the heart of every believer. His light dispels our darkness. When light shines in a darkened room, it reveals that the darkness was nothing more than an absence, the lack of light. The same is true for us. When Jesus' light shines on us, it shows us that the darkness was just an emptiness in our hearts. It reveals that our sadness is not a thing, but a lack of joy and trust in the Lord. And it reveals that sin arises only because of the absence of Jesus' goodness. In prayer today, picture Jesus going around all of Galilee in your heart. Welcome him into just one area of your life that is in darkness. A wound from a broken relationship, a fear or worry that is keeping you bound up, or a pattern of sin that has you trapped in guilt or shame. Ask him to shine his light on that area. Let the brilliance of his love and the warmth of his mercy dispel the darkness and bring you healing. Even if it's just a matter of taking the next good step into the light, welcome him in and let him shine in you. Come, Lord, and let the radiance of your light cast out the darkness in my heart.